Look at my cats, they're butt to butt. Hold on, Lita's right here, Edge is right there. They're butt to butt. Booty to booty, 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 rocking everywhere. Hi, it's Danny. Welcome to my dark desk. Take a sippy, sippy, puffy, puffy, because we are going to talk about Mido and Debby of 90 Day Fiance. My God, my goodness. Woo, where did we leave off? So I'm gonna jump right in because we have a lot to unpack. My last video left off kind of like, I didn't finish episode 3 and I thought I finished episode 3. You know when you're 40 and you're tired? Well, I'm actually older than 40, but when you're over 40 and you're tired and you're watching a show and you wake up in the middle of the night with your TV kind of blaring, like, are you still there? And you thought you finished the episode but you didn't. That's what happened to me. So I had to go back and watch the end of episode 3. So she was waiting at the airport for an hour and 30 minutes. She saw the other passengers from that flight leave, and it turns out he was waiting and playing with her. Like, he was timing it to make her think that he wasn't going to show up. And I'm like, where'd they do that at? And I'm glad the producers asked, like, so are they prone to do surprises like that in Egypt? He was just like, oh, you know, we love surprises over there. I'm like, I don't remember Mahmoud doing that. I don't remember the other guy, I forgot his name, I think his name was Muhammad, doing that. I don't remember any of the individuals we've seen from Egypt do that to any of their ladies, so that's bizarre. Anywho, so he grabs the flowers and he is so performative. He is on. He is on. He also says that her kisses tasted a little bit like vomit, and she's like, no, I used mouthwash. I had mouthwash on me. And I'm like, ew. So they get to the car. Devin, Debbie's daughter, is being super passive aggressive and saying, oh, we thought you weren't gonna come. We thought you weren't gonna show up. Which I kind of appreciate, but like, instead of being passive aggressive, be aggressive. Let's not play these games. And so as they're driving, he's like, I can't wait to see my room. He's not saying our, there's no us, and there is absolutely no we in how Mido talks about his life with Debby. There's no mention of them getting married. There's no mention of a wedding. There's no mention of partnership. There's no mention of. So he peeks into the house. He's super performative, and she points out her Fabergé eggs, which is so retro. It's like very lifestyles of the rich and famous. She's always reaching out to touch him. He never reciprocates. He just like kind of pats her and like okay, and then he pulls away. It's just like, it looks really sad. She says that she hasn't had sex in 10 years and she hasn't lived with a dude in 20, and she says he is a virgin, and I don't believe it. But when they get to bed, they have a pillow fort between them. They have a line of pillows to keep their bodies separate. Can you imagine being 40 plus and putting pillows between you and your partner to keep from like touching each other? That is so strange to me. I know Hazel and Tariq did that when he went to meet her in the Philippines, but that was their first meeting and he didn't pay for another room, so I can understand that because she didn't know him from a can of paint. Debby has met and spent time with Mido for them to have like a pull-up fort in the bed, and he was just like, it's because of his religion, but like, your religion would not allow you to be under the same roof as a paramour. We learned that from Nicole and Azin. What is happening here? So she comes out with a flannel nightgown, head to toe, just covered, and I'm like, ooh, that AC better be high on blast because I know she's sweating. I know there's just pits of sweat in the crevice. He says that after they get married and if they're not sexually compatible, he may leave her. And I'm like, that is not the talk of a virgin. They wake up together with the pillow fort intact, which is hella funny. She's like, it's such a dream waking up with the man of my dreams. And I'm like, bitch, this is a nightmare. This is what you got going on. He's acting very nice in the bed, and she's like, are you happy? And he says, sure, which is so unconvincing. Is the most unconvincing sure ever. They get ready. He is taking forever to get himself ready, and she's like, oh, he always takes forever to get ready. So they've spent more time together than their initial meeting. Anyhow, he's spraying himself down with every drop of cologne in that bottle, and I can only imagine how stuffy that space is. In NOLA heat, and you're spraying yourself down like that? Anyhow, he tells her to change her clothes because she's wearing a tank top. She's showing the curve of her shoulder, and he doesn't like that. Meanwhile, he's wearing yoga pants, and you could see everything in his, well, I'm a sexy man. I'm like, are you though? Also, who says they're a sexy man when they're a virgin? They are walking down the street in NOLA and they pass by, you know, midnight ballerinas and midnight ballerina places on this street. This is Bourbon Street. And he's just like, oh, maybe I'll wait till you go to sleep and go see the midnight ballerinas. And I'm like, that is not virgin language, sir. The way he is playing in her face, like he's talking about going to the clubs and he's looking at the sex shops. He's like staring, he's like, oh, cover your eyes, Habibi. And I'm like, you cover your eyes, aren't you the virgin? She's ain't been around that block, have you? You can't tell me this motherfucker is a virgin. Anyhow, he wants to take all the pictures, and Debby is his photographer, and he was asking, they go to get something to drink, and he's just like, how far is Hollywood from here? She's like, by car? A couple of days. He was just like, well, I really want to move to Hollywood because, you know, my dream. No talk of the wedding. And she points that out in her interview. She's like, he doesn't talk about the wedding. All he talks about is Hollywood. And she kind of like, when she's telling him about like responding to his demand to go to Hollywood, she's like, well, you know, let's figure out the wedding first, and then, you know, we'll move forward and figure out how we're going to do the whole Hollywood thing. And he says, I didn't come here to play. And the way he said it, I was just like, oh, he's abusive. This is not even funny because already he is negging her, so, and he's emotionally neglecting her. The next scene, Devin and Debby are packing while Mido is doing God knows what. He's not helping, but they're packing because they found a new apartment in the complex because they need more space. The new apartment looks nice except for the carpet, and Mido is having a tantrum. He doesn't want to talk. He just wants to see his room, and he's not helping them unpack, and he won't talk to Debby. They go upstairs to show him the room. Debby's like, what do you think? And he's not really answering her. He's not engaging with her. And Devin's like, oh, time for me to go. She dips. She goes to her room. Well, apparently they got into a fight. They give the story about what happened. So he asked her to take a video recording of him driving the truck, and she ended up taking a picture. When he found out she took a picture, he was just like, hey, could you record a video because I want to put it online? And she's just like, no. And she apparently, according to him, she threw the phone at his face. According to her, she just handed him the phone. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be your photographer. Not everything has to be documented. I want to be in this moment with you. And so he won't talk to her, but there are no marks on his face, because if somebody throws a phone in your face, it's gonna leave a fucking mark. There's no marks on him, so I don't believe that she threw the phone in his face. Maybe she tossed it at his lap spiritedly. Either way, toxic behavior on both parts, on all parts. At the end of this episode, this is episode 5, he's standing in the rain like Usher, and I'm like, motherfucker, just let it burn. She's like, well, I don't care if he's not happy. He better get happy. That's what she said. She's talking big willy fish. And I'm like, girl, I don't believe you. In the morning, he greets her, and they both indicate that they didn't sleep well. And they go to have a conversation. They both have differing stories, how the argument manifested. She said she was tired and she didn't feel like recording everything. Why should she have to document everything? I want to be your wife. I'm not your fan. And he's like, what's wrong with you being my fan? You have to support me and my dreams. And he was just like, she hasn't been with a man in 20 years. She needs to learn. And the way he said it is so terrifying. She's asking him how should she debate and tolerate his threats to leave, because he also threatened to leave. Every time he gets upset, he's like, well, I could just leave. I could just leave. I could just leave. And I'd be like, well, then go. Shit, get the fuck out my face. Why are we still having this conversation? Instead, Debby says her dream is to be happily married. And I'm like, girl, this is not it. You think marriage is going to change this? Marriage is going to exacerbate it. Marriage is going to make it worse. So she asked him, oh, can I ask for something? And he said no. The way he said no, I know he meant that shit with his chest. And then he course corrects. He's like, oh yeah, ask me anything. She's like, I want a ring. Not an apology for how he's been acting like a fucking baby. No, you want a ring? And that's when I knew Debbie's on some stupid shit, because you care about the performance of this thing. You don't care about the fact that this guy is harmful and scary and threatening and abusive. You just want a ring? Girl. Episode 6. So we open up to Debby making a chore list, and she's asking him for help with the dishes and trash. And he's like, I can't. My hand. My arthritis. Old boy's making all excuses to not do anything. And he says, oh, look, I could sleep. Oh, women in Egypt do all the chores. And Debbie's like, we're not in Egypt. And I'm like, yeah, we're not in Egypt. Like, the fuck? You're not gonna work. You're not gonna clean. You're not gonna cook. What are you? You're not even sleeping with her. What are you good for, sir? You provide nothing. And despite the fact that he provides nothing, she gets him an acting class. And this is so cringe. I hate watching acting exercises. And he comes in super arrogant. He's like, well, I have a dream of going to Hollywood. And the teacher's like, all of us do, bud. They go through their exercises, and he actually had the audacity to say, oh, can I do something different from everybody else? And the teacher's like, no. He does the exercise, and the teacher says he has emotional availability, but he'll give him a C. He doesn't take direction. End of the acting class. Mido asked the teacher, how soon should I leave New Orleans to go to Hollywood? And the guy's like, it's very difficult to make it in Hollywood, and sometimes you have to do odd jobs to make it work. Did you do odd jobs in Egypt? And Mido's like, yes, but you know, my wife will support me. And like a producer plan, the teacher's like, oh, so are you saying that your wife will be okay with you not bringing in any type of money or, you know, doing any kind of work other than acting? And Mido's like, oh yeah, she supports my dream. The teacher's like, will your wife wife be okay with you wanting to move? And I was like, yes, absolutely. This whole situation with the acting ends Mido saying, I deserve to live my dream. We all deserve things, baby. We don't get them. Next scene, they're dressing up for Halloween. The worst Cleopatra and Last Pharaoh costumes I've ever seen in my entire life. And they're gonna meet up with her friends at a haunted house. Debby keeps asking Mido, are you nervous to meet my friends? He's like, no. If they don't like me, I don't care. Even in the drive, she was just like, aren't you nervous? Like, she's nervous. And you could tell he's getting into a mood. This felt so familiar, where the day starts off fine, you're laughing, you're joking, and then out of nowhere there's a switch and the person shuts down and gets into a fucked up mood, and you're like, she says it. Or when he's like this, I just pull back and I don't say anything. Yeah, girl, this is emotional abuse. He's teaching you to shut your mouth because he doesn't want to talk anymore. He doesn't want to talk about your friends. He doesn't give a shit about it. So he's treating you fucked up so that you stop talking about the things that he doesn't want to listen. So they meet the friends and it's super performative. He's very friendly. Both friends, the one who said she was a slut and the other friend is there. They go through the haunted house and Mido is acting like a psychopath because he's smiling at the actors. The people are jumping out at him and he's mocking and laughing at the whole thing. Jump scares mean nothing to him. People are pouncing up at him and he is unflinching. My degrees are in English, but boy oh boy, this guy is a psycho. At the end of the haunted house, everyone's just like, well, we should get a drink. The Rockford Peach girl, her date leaves. She jumps in the car with Debby and Mido. In the car, it is awkward. It is silent. Mido is not saying a fucking thing to a girl. It's like he Jekyll and Hyde. Suddenly he's quiet, he's on his phone, he's playing videos out loud while Debby and her have like conversations about the weather. And so you know, given how comfortable they were talking in previous scenes without Mido, you know that they're talking about the weather because it's so uncomfortable. They get to the place, Mido says, give me a second. He's digging in his nose, watching videos. Debby goes to the bathroom. The Rockford Peach goes to talk to Laura, the other friend, the slutty friend, and she's just like, that was weird. He didn't say a fucking thing. It's bizarre. Debbie gets back to the car and she's crying and she's like, I'm very uncomfortable, I'm very upset, and I want to have a conversation. And he snaps and he's like, what do you want? What do you want? And she's like, you're not gonna yell at me because I want to have a conversation. And she's staying pretty even keeled, and he's just like, why are you frustrated? You have everything, I have nothing. I should be the one frustrated. And I'm like, oh, he hates you, get out. And he's like, oh, what do you need? She's like, I'm telling you, I don't need anything from you. You don't contribute to my life. And he says, well, if you don't need anything from me, shh. And she's like, you're not gonna shush me. And he's like, well, then I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna get an Uber home. She's like, yeah, go get an Uber home. This is where she starts to elevate. She's like, I don't understand why you're here because you don't act like you love me. And even the friends observed, he did not touch her, he did not acknowledge her. It was all about him going through the haunted house. There was no togetherness. And he's just like, well, fine, I'll just take a flight home. He's like, yeah, you go take a flight home. And then he gets out the car and calls her a fucking bitch. That's when activate friends, because old girl comes through. He starts telling her to shut up, and the friend's like, you're not gonna talk to a woman like that in America. Now, first off, there are boku men who talk to women like that in America. So girl, shush, shush, shush. Don't make it a country thing, make it a respect thing. Oh girl, Laura rolls up deep. She bucks up, runs up on his face like, you're not gonna talk to her, you're not gonna tell her to shut up, you won't speak to a woman like that. Applause for Laura doing what's right. I was proud for her, I was happy for her, but I was also scared. I mean, there were producers there, so he wouldn't go too crazy. He was like, oh, thank you for your respect, thank you. And she's like, you know, fuck you, with her chest. And Debby hugs her friends goodbye, and the friend's like, I'm sorry for yelling at your future husband. And Debbie's like, he's not my husband, he's not gonna be anything to me. She says goodbye. She says whatever to the producer. She's like, I'm done, he needs to get the fuck out of my house, he's not coming back into my house. And she drives off while he waits for the Uber. And that's how the episode ended. Boy oh boy. Now I saw this coming because this is the ruse, man. Like he doesn't love her, there's no affection there. This is terrible, and I hope for her sake, she really means it, that he's not welcome back to her house. I heard online she was defending him, so I'm already sad for her. Like, bruh, this is not a good situation. But let me know what you think. I'm sorry to leave on a down note, but man, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hype, do as you deem fit. Keep your sippy sippies, puffy puffies, whatever you need to close, but your instincts close, and I'll be sure to catch you on the flips. Bye. Remember, this is terrible. Keep going.